Welcome back to FFB Amigos, and today we're celebrating another Chelsea win against Southampton. We went to visit them and we came away with the points and a lot of goals. There was a little bit of craziness that I'm going to share with you. Let's get into it. Okay, so it was a crazy start of the game. First, I want to big up to Southampton. The ball's on these guys. I'm telling you, they played. They attacked and they seek to attack the whole game. They would push high lines at times, even though they're the last team on the table, and they were coming up such a strong upcoming and attacking team like Chelsea. They still went out there to play football in this game. In that, huge applause. They ended with 10 men. We'll get into that too. And still, towards the end of the match, I saw 8 Southampton players surrounding the Chelsea box when they were down by 3-4, still attacking. So that's incredibly admirable. So it was a crazy call, and actually Jørgensen, which I was so before the game started, I just clicked on the game like right before it started and saw. I love the fact that we did so many changes. There was some confidence in that we would be able to do it with some of the cup players, but the happiest thing, Jorgensen came into the game. That's such bliss to see that we're testing another keeper. So that made me happy. And within 2 minutes, Chelsea had already attacked, and so did Southampton. It made me a little bit nervous at the back. We weren't defending very great. But again, it's like a kind of a new setup, and the team was in a hybrid mix. It wasn't the one team that plays together or the other team that plays together. So some of that is to be expected. But Jorgensen took on immediately. He had to block a shot, and he did really well. As I said, I was happy to watch it, him on the sheet. There was some poor defending from Southampton, obviously, that led to our goal, the Dizazi goal. I mean, he took a header 2 feet away from the keeper in the small box of the area. Who cares? We scored. But that had to be a ball either for the keeper or the man on the first post. But we'll take it. Fernandez gets an assist for that as he took the corner. A poor defensive, and almost immediately, a poor defensive clearance there from Fernandez. Not really his fault. He's still in the box. He tracked back to defend, which is kind of the main thing. Leads to them scoring a goal. Again, a lot of chaos in the game in the first few minutes. And at the 10th minute, we were 1-1. And that was a bit of a concern. It was a blistering 10 minutes. All in all, it was a game. It was an impressive game because of Southampton, man. They came out to play, and they really did, and they were far more organized than maybe we saw Leicester, so kudos to them. I would say even around up until the 15-minute mark, they kind of destroyed us on the wing. They did more on the right wing against Cucurella than I've seen a lot of bigger teams do. So again, kudos to them on that. The Chelsea press is insane, guys. Insane. Whoever we play with, and a lot of that is everyone on the team. A lot of that is Palmer, and that's why I hate this. People enjoying that we can play Caicedo on the right, because when you have a player that can press like him, again Palmer, amazing at pressing everybody, but Palmer especially good. But when you have a player that can come in, destroy, and recover the ball, and transition and play fast, like Caicedo in the middle. When you're playing a high line, those lead to opportunities within 2 seconds of recovery, right? So, I love that part of the identity in Chelsea, and that's why we need to keep Caicedo a little bit further up the field to press, especially some of these teams. That it's crazy how Southampton was trying to play out the back, man, and committed, and that poor goalkeeper that they put under so much pressure so many times. But again, I'm happy for them. You Southampton fans, if there's a single one of you watching this, I'm really proud of you guys. I think you had like 5 players out, important players, and it's not a game they expected to win. You're at the end of the table. There's some pride in willing to go out there and play and fight that hard. And I think if they just get those players back, and I think a lot of them were through suspension, so if they get a lot of these players back, and things start, there's still enough to go through the season. Well, maybe a little miracle could happen. They can come out of it. Again, I made so many notes and comments here about all the bravery these guys displayed. But in any case, Minute 23, another thing I wanted to notice, like a godlike pass from Félix up to Palmer, who hits the post. And at minute 26, I made a note. I'm like really liking this guy. And he gave me some. Okay, do not kill me about what I'm about to say. Okay, just understand why I'm saying it. He gave me some Kaká vibes, right? I'm not saying he's as good as him. I'm just saying it looked like in a game that was sometimes a little tight, he was always in acres of space when he received the ball. And that was because he was creating that space, finding that space. In other words, he would run into areas where when he receives the ball, there's space, and he would progress the ball very fast at a speed to where the midfielders would have to chase after him, and if they did, they were usually fouling him. He caught a couple of fouls because of that, but it's not so fast that it'll draw out the center back. So that's a great rhythm, and that's the kind of thing that Kaká used to do really well, is pick up the ball and progress it up the field very fast, but not so blisteringly fast that they'll close you off or like lightning speed, but just at the right speed that keeps the movement going and allows all your other players ahead of you to do runs at the center backs so they don't come out either. Lovely. In minute 38, some people were saying I was very fortunate that I watched a really cool watch along. I'll tell you at the end who I was watching with, and I recommend that you do. I don't have enough viewers yet, so please like and subscribe, because one day if I have enough of you guys, we can hang out and do a watch along. That would be like the funnest thing. That would be one of the main reasons I wanted to create the channel, is because sometimes because of work or travel, I don't have the opportunity to hang out with friends to watch the game, and it would be so exciting and cool to watch the game with all of you. In any case, they're saying that the man of the match is likely Cucurella's hair, who again is the star of the show. Stevens from Southampton. Oh my God, what a stupid mistake. He doesn't even like completely yank his hair really hard, but we know it's a red card, man. I've seen a couple of silly red cards lately, starting with Caicedo in our recent game, right? But he just pulls the guy's hair for no fucking good reason, and obviously gets red carded. And I was really concerned at that stage because, you know, it was early in the game relatively, 38th minute. And I'm like, that's it. This game's over. Like, these guys are just going to park the bus. Chelsea's going to have 600 shots on target. There's going to be no room to play. We're not going to get to see any good football. No, sir. No, sir. That's what I'm saying. At one point, there was 8 players attacking in, like, the later stages of the second half with 10 men. The cojones on Southampton. So you guys ought to be proud again of that. Félix positioning was great in the first half. Like I said, he was always in space. So I'm trying to fall in love with him as I'm watching the game, right? Because he's really silky sometimes in his touch. He does these quick runs. He's got great vision, opening passes. Sometimes he's doing that better. He actually did that better than Fernandes, in my opinion, at opening up and allowing the transition. But then he's so wasteful in front of goal. And I'm just hoping that there's a finite amount of shots he has to miss in his life, and he gets them out of his system so he can move forward and do better. But yeah, I mean, that's the concern with him for me always, that very last pass and that finishing. But today, to me, he was a little bit behind in the organizing play a little bit, and he did a great job. At the end of the first half, it caught my eye. Southampton had more possession. We were destroying these people, but they had possession. That's what I'm saying. They didn't get scared that they gave the ball away. I think they're the team that gives the ball the most, and they're doing that because they're playing out the back. That leads to a goal. That have given up goals that they get punished for trying to play out the back. That by losing possession immediately you get scored on. And, you know, and this keeper, when they do the thing, which we see in Chelsea, that the two center backs split open wide. And against Chelsea's press, that's really ballsy, man, because we press well, we press high, we press hard against the best teams in the world. We can do it. And they took those risks and they got punished for it. But that's what allowed to have a game where we still had more goals and things were active. In a minute 63, despite being down, Southampton still attacking. And then the part that I liked is that after I loved watching Sancho come into the game, because after watching everybody be wasteful, and Nkunku being wasteful in front of goal, certainly Noni Manueki, amigo mío, you did really well. This guy always, there's never lack of trying, and he's not scared of facing defenders and taking them on, and he does it really well. But there was some misses. Not the kind of misses, the one in the house. And there was a miss from Félix, a header. Beautiful cross from Noni. Little chipped cross into him. And it was, I wouldn't say an open goal, but he certainly needed to hit the target. So very wasteful. Same thing with Noni. But both of them really good at engaging and taking on defense. But when Sancho, I felt like he was watching this, and he came in and was just lethal. He had his shot, his opportunity, just smashed that ball into the goal, giving Gusto an assist for that, laying out the 5th goal for Chelsea, and pretty much, sealing the deal. And really good, really happy to see him. I think he's got so much to offer, and so exciting to see a player that was in such a dark place, that had done so well at Borussia Dortmund, and had struggled so much at United. I mean, aside from me being a Chelsea fan, just good to see a player coming back like that. And then one of my major concerns, everybody knows already, my few followers that I have, that I am a huge Moises Caicedo fan. And yes, I know he's an animal. He's a tiger, a beast, a ninja, a polar bear, a grizzly, whatever you want to call him. But we need to rest him sometimes too. Because I see this also happening in Ecuador when he goes to play the internationals, and especially now in Chelsea. The guy doesn't get a minute rest. And yes, he can handle it. He's got the body. Availability has been amazing with him. His physicality is unbelievable. He's, you cannot tire the guy. He's got 5 lungs, all that good stuff. But I suspect there's like a 3% chance he may be human. And that off chance, that 3% that he is human, I do not want this guy getting hurt. And as I was saying that, and I was actually watching on the watch along, I commented, like, they're taking all these players off. I'm thinking they're probably thinking about the Spurs game. Certainly Palmer, fine. We started some players in order to give some rest to some players. Perfect, our back line especially. And Cucurella was very wise to take him out. He expends a lot of energy. Why would you not take out our killer engine, animal, beast, recovery monster, transition key player, probably the most important Chelsea player to me, and give him a rest? And as I'm saying that, and I posted it on the watch along, he gets a little thing, he sort of lands kind of awkwardly on his knee. And Ecuador doesn't rest him either because he's an animal. But I'm just very afraid that we don't get this player some rest. There's a lot of games coming, not only now, not only this season, not only the run in December, which is going to be tough, but if we really want this future for Chelsea, we can't have a player like that get injured for weeks or months at a time. So we need to take care of him. Enzo Maresca has been really good about taking care of other players. Please take care of Moises Caicedo as well, please. And then lastly, I wanted to tell everybody the great secret. I was watching Joey Aveste. I think he's my favorite Chelsea creator, probably the best. As I told him on his comments, he's one of the inspirations, if not the inspiration, for me to do this. So please go to his channel, Joey Aveste, give him a like, subscribe to his channel. And the reason is because he's a very smart dude, and he's not scandalous and exaggerated in his commentary. And I felt suddenly that there is room for a guy like me. If there's a guy like him, that means there could be a guy like me that tries to call it as it is without getting passionate or crazy or talking nonsense, but trying to be very honest, or admitting when he's got his blue tinted glasses on, as I do sometimes, like I do with Moy often. But so thank you very much, Joey. And he was so generous to mention my channel in his chat, and I got like 3 subscribers from it. So thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. And to all of you, please like and subscribe. I hope to get 1% better every single day, every single video, and continue to create the best that I can for you. And as always, I'll be seeing you soon, and come on, you Blues.